Yeah, but we're straight shooters. We're honest here, and I don't think we're ever like nasty. We just speak what we feel.
No, maybe we should.
We've had other.
Maybe we should get more nasty though. Maybe that give us.
Well, if we start talking about vodka again.
Yeah, that's always an easy thing to get. Get pretty cruel.
Did you get my tweet the other day about the savory gin and tonic that I made?
Yeah, that sounded good.
It was actually.
Well, you inspired me. I actually made a gin and tonic that night, but I was disappointed.
With gin and tonic, or
yeah.
Why?
Well, my tonic water was a little old, and I thought I was like, it's in a can. This will be fine.
Oh,
I'll never think that again.
You mean it was like an unopened can?
Unopened can.
Oh wow, okay.
Unopened can. But when I say a while, like it'd probably been a year.
Okay.
I had bought like a 6-pack of tonic water, and it had been like a year, and I opened it up, and I was like, that seems a little less fizzy. So it was a little less fizzy. The flavor kind of wasn't there, and I was like,
that does make a difference.
Wow, I finished it.
Well, of course, you're not going to waste good gin.
It was still good. It just wasn't as awesome. Like after literally, I saw your tweet. I was like, ooh, and because then I even mentioned it to Rachel. And she's like, oh, that sounds good. And I made it both, and she was like, oh, this doesn't. I was like, yeah. I said, I think the tonic water is a little bad.
Yeah, that can be
that
tricky.
was kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
because I even had limes. Like usually I don't have limes around. I had that. I was pumped, but then I thought of something else too. That was what I tried to make. This is kind of humorous story. So it was great. I appreciate that you'd gotten me the sweet vermouth.
Right.
So I was very excited. I'm like, I'm going to make a Manhattan. Actually, I used the sweet vermouth in the crock-pot chicken I did the other day.
Oh, okay.
And that was very good. But anyway, so I was like, I'm going to make a Manhattan. I'm like, oh yeah, I bought the wrong bitters a long time ago. Because in our ultimate Manhattan recipe that we have on the website, AboutBeverages.com, it's for the Regan's orange bitters, number 6, or it has a number
something like
something,
that, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And not whatever.
A little trickier to find.
Yeah, a little trickier to find. I should just order it. So I was like, yeah, I only have like the more herbal kind of bitter. It's red. And I was like, oh, and I don't have the maraschino. Like, so I had like almost nothing. I had the sweet vermouth.
The odds were against you.
They were. I had the sweet.
Did you have the bourbon?
The bourbon. I did have the bourbon. I wound up going with the Paddleford Creek. I thought about using the Jefferson, but since I was worried about my recipe, I didn't want to waste that. And not that the Paddleford Creek is bad, but I love the Jefferson.
Right.
So anyway, so I go to make it, and I'm like, okay, well, Regan orange bitters, orange, Cointreau. So I
maybe a drop.
I pour in my bourbon. I pour in the sweet vermouth amount, and I'm looking at the recipe, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, so I basically did like a 50-50 blend of the bitters that I had, because I was like, well, I need that bite. And then I was like, and I put some Cointreau in there for the orange. I poured that in there, and then I was like, oh, I don't have maraschino cherries either.
Oh no.
So I didn't have any of that, so I didn't replace that with anything. But so then that got me thinking, like, I was like, I wonder if this actually is a drink. Like, does anyone like combine like other things and make this? And I was like, well, all right. So I shook it up and I made it, and it just kind of tasted like bourbon and ginger ale. Like this.
Really? With the orange? Yeah,
the orange really didn't come like I used like literally, because it talks about a dash and jumping away. Like I like that.
Right.
Our recipe is so cool. Right. We definitely appreciate Dave for putting that up for us. But anyway, the recipe is so good, so I made sure I used very little, because I thought I don't want to ruin it, because I can at least drink bourbon and sweet vermouth if I have to. But if I kill it with orange, that would be bad.
Right.
So I did it, and it was it just tasted like kind of ginger ale, because I drank it, and Rachel was like, what are you making? She was like, what did you make? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, a very bad Manhattan. And she kind of smelled it. She's like, oh, it smells like ginger ale. I said, yeah. I said, I know.
But a very delicious ginger ale.
It was a good ginger ale. So then later, just to make up for it, I just had some straight Jefferson. Bourbon, some straight bourbon, and that was just tasty.
You redeemed yourself.
I did. I had to.
Yeah, no, for some reason the other day I wanted the gin and tonic, but I was also in the mood for the garlic stuffed olives, which I had.
So
and I didn't want to make a martini, so I thought, you know what, I could make a dirty gin and tonic.
And it turned out well?
It really did. I was very surprised.
So now, like, for our listeners, like, what kind of ratio? Like, are we talking like a teaspoon or?
No, I took my bar spoon, and I did 3 or 4 bar spoons of.
Okay, so you made it pretty garlicky.
Yeah, I did, but it wasn't overly so, and it was weird with the tonic water mixing in. It didn't come out overly savory, but it did just have that right note in it. And yeah, it worked for me. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know, how frequently I would do it, but for some reason on that day I was like, I want the gin and tonic, but I'm in the savory mood.
I've had that sometimes where I've
put those two together.
Yeah, where I've actually, because I always have the garlic olives on hand. I'm like, I really want a garlic olive. I should make a drink to go with this.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes the food comes before the drink.
And I did. I had a
Sometimes
couple
the
of
garnish.
olives, but I didn't put them actually in the drink. But I did have a couple olives.
Did you still use a little twist of lime and some?
No, I kept the lime out because I was
Oh,
afraid.
interesting.
I was
Out of
afraid.
fear.
I was afraid of
Out
the
of
citrus.
fear.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
But no, it was good. It worked well.
Well, hopefully one thing we are not afraid of is segueing from beer, which we've been doing. We're doing a lot of beer in a can.
Correct.
And that's been pretty awesome. We found at least one really good, a couple. Actually, we found a couple there.
Yeah,
I'm
some nice surprises.
Pretty happy with. So now we have a wine that was suggested to me by someone down at Cost Plus. So we're going to try that today on this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage we are about today is Three Girls Cabernet Sauvignon from Lodi, California. This the 2010 vintage. And this was recommended to you because something you tried wasn't quite your style. So
yeah, kind of like
she
how
said this might be.
Right, kind of like how you've talked about with Trader Joe's, how they do their wine tastings. They also do that at Cost Plus, at least in our area, on the weekends, usually Saturday and Sunday only. And they had several of them out, and they had another cab out and tasted it. And I was like, well, it's okay. I said, usually, and it was a little bit fruity, but it didn't have a lot of other things going for it. I said, well, usually when I think of a cab, I think of a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of spice, a little bit of these other things. And she was like, well, if you're looking for that, she's like, this is the one I point people towards. So this is what I wound up going for.
You haven't tried it yet? But
Have not tried it. Yeah, we're going to kind of dive into that. And I thought it was nice, too, because if it actually is good, it would mean I wouldn't mind being stuck in Lodi. Again. Very good. Look at that. We didn't even work that out before.
We did not rehearse that.
We did not rehearse that
We are unscripted. We fly without a script here.
That's right. So this is
as you can probably tell.
Yeah. So this is the 2010. It's 13% alcohol, and
I don't know what did you pay?
uncork this guy right here. It was, I believe, $9.99.
Okay.
So not super expensive.
No, you can find some good cabs you can find any good wine at any price really, but I think that's not a bad spot there for a cab.
I don't know if this one is daring to be unoaked, but
your favorite commercials.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Using your handy dandy wine puller or cork puller there.
Don't know if you can actually see, but yeah, it's my favorite cork puller.
Hard to beat that for $2.
Yeah.
It's everything you
hard
need.
to beat a lot of things for $2.
Yeah.
Would you like to smell the cork?
Check that out.
Any seepage? How are we looking there?
Oak Ridge Winery.
Oh yeah, that is the name of the winery. They also make a Chardonnay, which I also bought. Have not had that yet, and a couple others.
So there are a lot of so it's three girls as opposed to a bunch of guys because they would be the Oak Ridge boys.
Our heart's on fire for this cab.
That's right.
Elvira.
That'd be some.
Yeah, I'll put something.
Edit some music in there.
Ooh, I thought that was going to be lighter.
Oh, it sounds like
I thought that was going to be white.
That's
all right. That's why I use this. That's okay.
Splash of wine on the white tablecloth of life. Wow. You're nothing but a splash of wine on the white tablecloth of life. I don't know what that means.
That would mean that I would
kind of
stand
funny,
out,
actually, though. Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if that's a bad thing per se.
It's a nice dark.
That is a very dark, kind of
reddish,
ruby red on the
purplish.
outsides,
Yeah.
but heading toward the purple, toward the middle. I would say
Definitely. Yeah.
very pretty.
Well, that smells. That's quite good.
It smells very inviting. Very fruit forward.
Yeah, lots of nice berry, but there's some depth in there too. There's some. I don't know. There's some.
I'm getting a little peppery something at the back.
Some
I'm
nice-
getting raspberry. But I'm also getting like a blueberry. There's something sweet in there too.
It's weird to say like structure, but there's a layering to those aromas because they hit you with some fruit, but then it continues to hit you with fruit, but it's not the same, and there's a nice depth. Yeah, I would say.
It's almost kind of like a
it's
really
jammy
good,
a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like a really good cake, where you get a little bit like in every bite of like now you get frosting, now you get this cake layer, now you get this, that's a really good way to put that.
That's very very nice aroma there.
Sometimes when I enjoy like an aroma almost too, like I love this aroma so far,
Yeah.
I'm nervous. Do you get that way
We're done.
too? Yeah, kind of. You're
Our work
like,
is done here. It's time for us to go home.
Enjoy the aroma.
Enjoy the aroma.
Find our scent notes on this particular wine, along with where it hits on our aroma
sniffing
scale.
notes, that's right.
Yeah, our sniffing notes. Yeah.
No, we'll try it.
Yeah. Tireless work that we do.
I'm not going to judge on that. That's going to get the beer taste out of my mouth.
Has a hoppy bitterness at the end.
Now, what did she... You didn't like the one,
Right.
and so she said this one is more... What?
This one had more of the vanilla, a little bit more of the spice,
Okay.
a little more traditional cab type flavors. The one I had was definitely more toward the just kind of fruit forward and a little empty, a little bit lighter, and that type of thing.
Okay.
So she said you want something a
just-
little stronger, like, you know.
You just opened this. So it
Correct.
hasn't
Yeah,
had
well, you
much...
saw.
You haven't. It hasn't had much, if any, time to breathe. We've had it in the glasses, swirling it a little bit. So, I don't really get any tannins.
No, I don't either.
So it's pretty young. It's a 2010, but I don't get like any like tannic structure, like any like backbone where it's like, oh, we need to let that breathe.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
I'm not
ready to
get-
drink now.
I agree. Yeah, there's not that kind of heft where you're like, I need this to let this sit, or right.
I like the body. It's a medium. I'd say thin to medium. It's not heavy.
Yeah.
There's a little dryness on the front, but it is. I mean, that is a really fruit intense cab.
Yeah.
And I like. I don't know if it's necessarily what I would consider classic cab.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But that's a pretty darn tasty red wine, actually.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm not getting as much of the peppery that I was kind of hoping
No,
for,
not
which
getting
is
any of
which
that.
is what I do usually like in a cab. Like I like bold flavors. I like fruit. I like those things that come out. I'm happy that this one's not super dry. It is a little bit at first, but
Right.
that seems to go away rather quickly, which I'm happy with. I like everything I got in the aroma. I'm getting also in the taste, like
Yeah,
those
it's
wonderful
definitely
raspberry
represented, yeah.
jammy flavors, even the hints of blueberry and other things I think are really good. I'm even getting there's even a little light chocolatey note, like a milk chocolatey something in there.
There's a
And I think that's-
sweetness
I think
on the
that's
end
kind of
that-
playing in the body a little bit. But yeah, the body thin to medium, not super heavy, and maybe a little bit of maybe it's either the milk chocolate or a little vanilla at the end. Like there's some sort of little note like that. But yeah, this is definitely not a traditional cab. But I think this is a very good bottle of maybe New World kind of cab, red wine kind of thing.
It'll
or
be
I don't know
interesting
what,
to see how, because you guys are talking about having this maybe with dinner
yeah,
tonight.
Yeah, we'll have this.
How that
later.
opens up, because there is that dryness on the subsequent sips has almost gotten a little bit of a spice note to it to me, of a not pepper, that's too much, but there's a little bit of something attached to that dryness that I think might open up as it goes forward. But that
Okay.
the fruit, what's nice is the fruit that you got on the aroma is still there. So if you like that in the aroma, it's in the taste. That's quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
Quite an enjoyable red wine, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if you gave it to me and I drank it, I don't think I would say cab. I might almost say Syrah or Shiraz maybe, because the fruitier expression of that. I could easily, if you would have told me this was one of those, I would say, okay, I'd buy that, like an Australian Shiraz almost.
Right.
On the of the more fruity way of expressing that grape.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Yeah, it's definitely not.
But I like it. That's good.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I would definitely get this one again.
You
but-
guys will enjoy that with dinner tonight.
Yeah, with our cereal.
Yeah. Pour it on your cereal.
Pour it on your cereal.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really yeah,
I like that quite a bit.
and I do as well. And hopefully we like. Well, of course we do. Hopefully you are enjoying our videos along with our website AboutBeverages.com, where you can find the tasting notes and also discover where this hits on our recommendation scale. And while you're there, definitely become a fan of us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube feed so you can get all the latest videos and notes and things we're thinking about and talking about in the world of beverages. And yeah, this has been a great several podcasts.
Yeah.
several podcasts in a row, and
You can always tell the ones that we've done on the same day
same shirts.
because we're wearing the same
Yeah,
shirts.
we're in the same shirt. Sometime maybe we'll start fooling it up. We'll do clothes changes.
Yeah,
we'll do
we could do
wardrobe
that.
changes.
But if you ever see like 10 in a row with us wearing the same shirt,
Yeah.
then you probably know by the end of those podcasts, wow, we were really, we really didn't know what we were talking about by that
We
by the
really
end of those. So
didn't. No, we didn't. But whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.